Hello, we're looking at DLR for week 34. Day 1. Make sure to correct your work in red. The flashlight fish has an organ under each eye that gives off bright light. The flashlight fish has an organ. Okay, so because there's a vowel here, and it says O, we have to say A-N. A organ is hard to say. An organ. An organ under each eye that gives, okay? That gives off bright light. And if you don't know what a flashlight fish is, you should Google it. He's very cool looking. The light they make is one of the brightest glows made by a living thing. The light they make is, we don't say it is, because we already have the it. We only need one subject. Here's my subject, right? What about it? It's one of the brightest glows. The light they make is one of the brightest, we don't say most brightest, the brightest glows, O-W, made by a living thing, period. Number 3, the ghostly effect is caused by bioluminescent bacteria living in the fish. The ghostly effect is caused by bioluminescent bacteria living in the fish. Bioluminescent. So what does that mean? What does bio mean? Bio means alive. What does luminous mean? Luminescent. It makes light. So bioluminescent is something that's alive and it makes light. Number 4, combine the sentences. So they don't use the light to see, they use it to communicate. Instead of using the light to see, comma, they use it to communicate. There's more than one correct way to connect these two sentences, but this is a very good one. Instead of using the light to see, they use it to communicate. Day 2. My parents and I are flying to Chicago for Brian's college graduation. Okay, my parents and I are. We are. We are flying to Chicago for Brian's. Whose graduation is it? It's Brian's, apostrophe S, and a period. Oh, graduation. Duh, like grade. Number 2, we also want to visit the city's famous Museum of Science and Industry. We also wants, no. He wants, she wants, it wants, but we want. We also want to visit the city's, apostrophe S, famous, O-U-S, capital Museum of Science and Industry. Number 3, write the missing word. The museum is much larger than our science museum in San Jose. So we're comparing two things, so we use larger. It's being compared to one other museum. Larger. Number 4. Okay, so we're using dialogue. So we need quotation marks. I would, I'd like to get a job at the museum, and you can come visit any time, quotation mark, comma, quotation, said Brian, period. I'd like to get a job at the museum, and you can visit any time, said Brian. Day 3. The length of your foot equals the distance from your elbow to your wrist. Check it. See if that's right. The length of your foot equals the distance from your elbow to your wrist. So don't say it equal, because you already have the it. You only need one subject. The length of your foot equals, so it equals the distance from your elbow to your wrist, WR. Number 2, you can find your height if you stretch out your arms and measure across your body. So instead of people can find their height, you can find your height. You can find your height if you stretch out your arms and measure across your body. That's why we can't say people, because we're saying your and your. So you can find your height. And look at how we spell height. Number 3, making one sentence. Spread your thumb and pinky out wide. The length of your face fits between them. The length of your face fits between your thumb and pinky when you spread them out. You could also say, when you spread out your thumb and pinky, the length of your face fits. And number 4, measure is to distance as compare is to ratio. We measure the distance, but we compare the ratio. We measure the distance, but we compare the ratio. How tall, how long. These are all comparing ratios. Comparing ratios. Okay, number 4. Quote. Why were those girls laughing when I walked by? Not where, but when. Why were those girls laughing when I walked by? Asked Karina. Why were those girls laughing when I walked by? Asked Karina. And you need the end quote here. Number 2. I was here changing into my gym clothes, so I didn't hear them, said Tanya. So quote, I was here changing into my gym clothes, so I didn't hear them, said Tanya. Number 3, after Karina put her folded jeans in her gym locker, she figured it out. Okay? Or you can say, then she figured it out after she put her folded jeans in her gym locker. Either way. Number 4, she must have sat on a candy wrapper at lunch. Oh no. She must have sat on a candy wrapper at lunch. Okay. Good luck to you. Make sure you correct in red pen.